Hello, guys. This is Rocher, and this is my podcast. Call it Tuna. And tonight we have one of my special guests. I call her my favorite white girl, Andrea.
Hi.
So we're doing this podcast because we want to start. There's been a lot going on, and we're gonna have a conversation about everything that's going on. So we're just gonna get into it right now. So, Andrea, tell the fans a little bit about yourself.
So I I am one of Rocher's very good friends, and I support him literally through everything. And I guess the really basic version of me is that I'm 24 years old. I'm a hairstylist, and I don't live too far from Rocher, so we hang out as much as we can, and we social distance very good, and we try to see each other.
Yes, and my loyal fans, you guys know she's been in both of my movies, and me and her did, I would say, we did two YouTube videos together.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
to
did we
there
did
was
one with
like the food
Jaquan,
one.
and we did one with the relationships, right?
Yeah, we did the food one with Jay Klein, the relationship one. Yeah, those were fun.
Okay, so Andrea, let's talk about it. How with the whole protesting for George Floyd been going around, and what is your opinion on it?
so I come at a crossroads with so many things because I have family and friends that are cops and with that uphold justice to the highest standards, and I have a lot of friends in the black community, and I am all for protesting as long as it's peaceful, and people seem to have sometimes taken things too far, but I love the fact that a community is coming together and standing for something that they believe in, and I love seeing people, not just the black community, but from all different types of community coming together and supporting something like a family. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, we put a moment of hatred on pause. But,
I continue. Go ahead.
sorry. But with all this anger, it gets so clouded for judgment, you know? Like, people just don't pause to think. Like, one person shoves you by accident, everybody loses their mind and just loses every ounce of their judgment because they're filled with rage. And I don't blame people for being filled with rage. I don't. Because this is a life taking a life. This isn't like a power trip for a cop. This isn't anything. You took a life. Own it.
Mm-hmm. Because the way I feel about the situation, and tell me if you agree or if you disagree, I feel like it's a race thing. Because I feel like because his name is Derek, if Officer Derek didn't have a cop uniform on, he's still racist. He's still racist. He just happened to be a cop. And that's what's sad because it's like your actions is what have people talking about fuck the police, got people talking about some fuck the 12s, you got people swinging on officers, you got people attacking officers, you got people burning down precincts, you got people burning down cop cars, breaking windows and
Well,
whatnot.
Well, it's bad either way. It's a bad situation for being a cop, for being white, for being whatever. It is a bad situation. But when you put yourself in this situation, and this goes for the other cops that were there too. When you put yourself in this situation, whether the guy was black, Spanish, but the guy happened to be black, I'm not ignoring the fact. But when you have a guy that's already in handcuffs and you're sitting on his freaking neck, I will curse a couple times in this, I apologize. But when you have a white cop sitting on this guy's neck screaming, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I'm just more pissed off that one of the other cops didn't have the moral judgment of, like, we're at a 10, let's bring this down to a 2 and get off of his neck. Like, he wasn't resisting, it was nothing. But this is over a counterfeit 20. You know? Like, I went to the supermarket the other day, and the total was like $80 or something. So I gave the woman my money, and one of the 20s wasn't good, so she gave it back to me and gave her a different 20. Like, there was a counterfeit 20. It was just something so easily fixed.
And don't forget the video. Don't forget the video got released, and it shows you that Officer Derek was literally beating on him while he was in the car. So that goes to show when he was
that's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
Too. Like, he's already not resisting arrest. He's already complying. Let the man be. What? I know some people that are calling this a power trip. I know other people that are calling this racism. Honestly, it's just immoral and it's wrong. Whether it's racism or in power control, it is wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, the reason why I want, when the protest is going on, I say this multiple times. I have cop friends. If I see a video where the cop is wrong, I have no problem, reposting it and saying, this is unacceptable, this is unnecessary, this isn't supposed to happen and whatnot. And, I'm not going to sit here, and repost it and say, fuck cops. Like, fuck the NYPD. I'm not saying stuff like that because technically speaking, I have friends in the NYPD. Are they animals? Would I ever see a video of them doing that? No. I'm like, I have multiple friends, and I honestly feel in the bottom of my heart, had that been them in that situation, after they handcuffed the man, they would have just threw the man in the back of the car. They would have, first of all, they would have asked questions first. Not sorry to cut you off. They would have asked the man questions first before they just throw him in the back of the car and start beating on him, then placing their knee on their necks. Like, that just doesn't happen like that. And the fact that you kneed on this man's neck, and it's like, he's not like you said earlier, he wasn't resisting arrest. He's already handcuffed. You have your knee on your neck. The medical team came and had to tap you multiple times to get off this man's neck. And don't get me started on how I love seeing how when these cops would shoot a man in their arm, of course you could arrest him. You shot in the arm, technically speaking, you can still run. You get shot in your arm, technically you can still run. When you shoot them in their stomach or in their chest and they're dead and you're handcuffing them, like, how are you going to handcuff a dead body?
So I think it's so, again, coming from a family member that has a bunch of, like, family members that are cops and whatnot. Like, I even have cousins that work in, like, jails and prisons and stuff, and, like, they're COs. Like, they deal with the worst of the worst and stuff. But when you are a white cop, you're just screwed automatically, whether you're in the right or wrong, when you're facing a minority. Whether it is a situation like this, with this one particular male who happens to be African American, right? And he's not resisting arrest whatsoever. Or you're in the middle of Brooklyn having a whole shootout. Like, when you are having a shootout with a black male and you are a white cop, everybody's going to be like, don't shoot him, da-da-da. But then once the evidence is put forward, going like, but he was going to shoot me. But this point, A, B, C, and D happened leading up to the shootout with this kid. Then everybody's like, my bad. Like, this kid should have been arrested, whatever. But growing up in a society, from my perspective, being a white woman, you're supposed to call the cops when you are in trouble. But with some households, if you are not being taught the right way, you get women or just white or just the white race in general, and I don't care how many people I offend from saying this, But when you have a white race getting brought up being white privilege, you are gonna get people like the woman in Central Park going like, this black guy is harassing me, but he was bird watching.
Mm-hmm.
But like that white privilege leads up to the cop kneeling on the guy's neck. People don't think.
Mm-hmm. And people don't want to open their eyes that it's more to it, because let's face it, that the white women that they call Karens.
White privilege leads up to this murder.
Yeah, like the white ladies that's always on their phone doing phone calls, they call Karens. They're not cops, but do you see how they feel like they have the power to call the police so the police will come and handle it?
But I think it's so funny because with this particular woman, I really don't know her name. I didn't really pay attention that much. But like I read the article and I even saw the video where the guy is just standing there, just holding it, and she's screaming like, he's harassing me and my dog. He's about to come after me. But like he's attacking my dog, grabbing the leash, but in the meantime, she's like, the dog's not even on the leash, and the dog is supposed to be legally on the leash in that specific area in Central Park. But then she's grabbing the dog by the collar and putting him on his two hind legs, choking him. And ASPCA actually came to her apartment or her house and took the dog away and got